Hi guys.
Hi.
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 So, J.J. Abrams has described this movie as batshit crazy. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And why?
Yeah.
Because it is.
Whale shit crazy.
Whale
It's
shit.
even bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen a whale shit, but I'm sure it's huge.
It's big.
And,
It's big.
it's a ride. It's a fun ride. It puts you in a place that puts you on the edge of your seat immediately. I don't think it ever pulls back from there. And I think that at the end of the day, you're a moviegoer and you've spent $14 and you got maybe a couple kids and you're gonna end up spending $50 that night. You're gonna want to get your money's worth, and this does it.
And I think, this is you got to see this in IMAX. That opening sequence is so insane, and Julius having the bravery to shoot, like we were saying, shoot that end of that in one shot, was nuts. I mean, you take a ride with Boyce out of that plane as you feel like you're actually parachuting out of the plane.
Pretty
It's
immersive,
nuts.
yeah.
And what was the craziest thing you've done to get into your characters? Or also, on sets?
I would say,
Boot camp, right?
yeah, the boot camp.
Boot camp, yeah.
We did a boot
Tell us
camp.
about it.
We did a boot camp for about 4 days before the shoot started, where Freddie Joe Farnsworth, who was the military advisor, took us into the woods and basically brought us together as a team. But there was a little sleep deprivation involved. We slept about 3 hours a night. It was cold. You had your army cot. You had your tent that we had to put up. We had to hike 3 miles. We had to probe for mines. He was just teaching us, giving us a very quick crash course on some of the techniques that were used and how to work with your teammates and work with your buddies. We all came together. We got really close over those 4 days, and it was pretty great.
And what's also wonderful is besides becoming a team building experience and us thrown together and bonding very quickly, it also gave us skills that came into practice in the film.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a scene where we go through a minefield, and without that training,
Which isn't the actual way you probe for mines.
which isn't the actual way you probe. This is not. We did
Sort of.
variation on it. But these were things that weren't in the script that we sort of developed because of the knowledge we had gained going through that experience. But that was...
Yeah, and there's also, it just creates, when you sit by the campfire at night time for like a couple hours and, you don't have your kind of modern technology there on your phone and stuff, you just, you forget, you just sit there and actually get to know people. And
talk.
And but there was a history, by the time we started the movie, there was a history between us which you couldn't manufacture, really.
So how were you guys spending the free time there?
Getting drunk.
Together?
Also.
What do you mean? On the
On
boot
set,
camp?
yes,
Or
yeah.
on set?
Yeah.
We just hung out.
Just hung out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing really to do. We did 10-hour work days. So
There was with all the gear that we had on, usually between takes, you would just find all of us sprawled out of the
But
floor.
you know what? I mean, a lot of sets, people, when you have your time off, you go back to your trailer and you sort of hang out on your own. It was everyone. I remember we were shooting a lot of times on the stage outside of London, and it's a big kind of warehouse. And when we were in between stuff, we would all just sort of sit outside and hang out together and talk, or play that stupid basketball game.
Oh
with
yeah, with the tinfoil.
But we stayed together. I think we really became a unit and a team, and
It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was kind of annoyingly cute, probably.
And how was this experience like as actors for you? Different from what you've done in the past?
Well, it's such a mad thing. It's such a mad thing to enact some of it, kind of the monster aspect of it and the supernatural element, It's kind of such a strange thing that you'll never probably get the opportunity to do again.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I had done some monster stuff where you're interacting with monsters, but they weren't there in the things I did. When
Monsters don't really exist.
Yes, they
Brian.
do.
We'll
talk later. Do you ever read Reddit? No, but then when you got to see, normally they don't do the practical element of those as much as they did in the past. And what they're committed to is, like in the scene where Iain transforms into a monster, all of that was prosthetics, and you could see it. You were right there. You were seeing what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, JJ and Julius putting together to so often now thriller, sci-fi, action films. It's all CG, and so there's not much practical elements, but they used as much practical elements as they could, and most of it actually is.
Yeah.
So, and I think it shows. It makes it much more authentic. It makes it much more real.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.